The NBA offseason has been absolutely put on a standstill ever since Kevin Durant announced he wanted to be traded away from the Brooklyn Nets. For today's video, we have a new team that came out of nowhere saying that they want to trade for the Durantula, and it very well might just be that they have the best trade package that anyone else can offer up. So I am so excited for today's video. Not gonna lie, the past couple of weeks, just the NBA news, it's been pretty much on the light side. So I woke up today and there's a list of different things to go through. Now I do want to ask you guys before we get too deep into the video, if you guys do want to see a Kevin Durant Boston Celtics rebuild, let's get this video to 1,000 likes and I will do that for tomorrow's video, assuming a big trade doesn't happen between now and then. But yeah, man, really want to incorporate some 2K back into the channel just because I feel like it's a nice little back and forth. I know a lot of you guys are here, also for the NBA 2K videos, right, man? So yes, 1,000 likes and I will do that. But that obviously brings us up into today's topic, which is Kevin Durant to the Boston Celtics and how that could get done and why it would get done and why both teams should do it or shouldn't do it for that matter, right, man? So we got that and a ton of other things to talk about. So let's get going right on it here, man. So we got. This is via Sham Wow, as you might call him, man. We got the Nets and Celtics entered trade discussions for Kevin Durant per Shams. Boston reportedly offered Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and a draft pick for Durant, but the Nets also wanted Marcus Smart, more draft picks, and potentially one more rotation player. So, once again, it's a case where a trade's offered up, and the Nets are like, no, man, we want literally the entire NBA for Kevin Durant. That's the only way we'll trade him away. If I'm being honest, I think this is a good start, though. I think the idea of the Nets getting Jaylen Brown, that gives them their cornerstone, build a team around Jaylen or franchise player, whatever they want that they've been talking about. They've wanted that type of piece. Jaylen Brown is that type of piece. At the very least, he's at least a second option on a championship team. Let's not forget the Celtics team was literally in the finals. They do not have to shake up everything. But I do understand, too, if the opportunity is given to, increase their chances in this window, I definitely get that. And, yeah, man, I think for the Nets, I could see them being okay, we want the draft picks, and we also want, Marcus Smart. But at the same time, too, I think Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and, maybe 3 or 4 first-round picks. You would think something like that probably gets it done. At that point, if you are the Celtics, I'm going to be you either get Marcus Smart or you get the draft picks. You do not get both. You're already getting Jaylen Brown out of it, right? So I just feel and even from an age standpoint and I don't know, man. The more I even think about it, I'm should the Celtics, who just got to the finals, even really do that? I think Malcolm Brogdon was one of the most underrated, trades or moves or transactions this NBA offseason. To me, that realistically might just be enough. That might just be enough for the Celtics to get over that hump and actually win a championship. So, but we know for a fact that getting Kevin Durant teaming up with Jason Tatum also could be very exciting and definitely increase their chances too. I could see, if you're a Celtics fan, having mixed feelings on it, man. I'm kind of leaning towards both ways. I'm I could see this side, but I could also see this side. And it's a win-win situation, to be honest. No matter what, you either still have your great championship run team or you get Kevin Durant. Not really a bad situation here to look at it. But, maybe 5, 6, 7 years down the road, you're ooh, we traded all those draft picks away for Kevin Durant. We lost in the first round. Then I could see that being an issue. But for now, it's fine. And actually, one of the trade packages, this is from an Instagram account known as NBA Trade Alert, said the mock trade that he's thinking, Kevin Durant in exchange for Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Grant Williams, 2 firsts, and 3 swaps, which to me, that seems about right. That seems about the sweet spot, man. I think that's actually a really solid trade. But, I'm sure Nets fans are going to say that's not enough because now your guys' minds are kind of warped into believing that Kevin Durant's worth 11 first-round picks because of what Rudy Gobert was traded for. One team's, overselling or overbuying for a player does not mean that every player should automatically go up to that threshold. We can very much recognize that the T-Wolves gave up a hell of a lot to get Rudy Gobert. I don't think that should automatically increase everybody else's value, but I don't know, man. That's how, the market works and stuff like that, right? Supply and demand, right? And Durant's in demand of a lot of teams. The Nets definitely know that. What else we got going on here? This one, not really huge news, but it can actually be a little bit of I wonder what that means. Rasheed Wallace, one of my favorite players of all time, man. Ball don't lie, baby. Will no longer be joining Darvin Ham's coaching staff per Shams. My belief here is that, Rasheed Wallace, not too long ago, I'm talking within the last year, maybe 6 months, went on the record to say that Russell Westbrook was the best player in the NBA. So I'm just saying, like, for one, if you're a Lakers fan, you hear that statement, you might not want this man being your assistant coach. I'm just saying, man. But also at the same time, too, I can very much see a scenario where they're like, hey, Sheed, straight up, like, Russell, I know you were coming here to coach him and stuff, but he's going to get traded. So I'm thinking that's probably what it is that it's probably going to lean towards some eventual, Russell Westbrook not staying with the Lakers. So I can see where Rasheed Wallace makes that choice. Here we have just like a very quick Donovan Mitchell team interest update. I'm not going to go heavy into this topic. We've talked about it so many times, man. Like, at this point, we're going to wait for the man to get traded. But this is via Shams. Just a little weekend update. It says the Wizards, Raptors, Hornets, Kings, Heat, Hawks, along with the Knicks, have expressed interest in Donovan Mitchell. Makes sense. He's like 26 and one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. I will say out of all those teams for him to go to, I like the idea of the Knicks not giving up too much. I like the idea of the Heat if it's just like a Tyler Hero package. And low-key, kind of like the idea of the Hornets, him playing with LaMelo Ball. Like, that could be fun, man. I would absolutely love to see that. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, that's where we're at with that. What else we got going on here? Okay, little Russell Westbrook update too. Just teams that are interested. Says the Jazz, Knicks, and Pacers have exposed interest in acquiring Russell Westbrook and draft capital from the Lakers, which would be, I believe at this point it's a 2027 first round pick and the 2029 first round pick is the picks they can actually trade away. Yeah, I mean, I've been a little bit I guess I haven't really gotten like my knowledge as far with it as I should have. Just kind of reading like headlines and stuff, but reading more into it and, just really listening to a lot of your guys' comments, man. A lot of you guys educate the hell out of me, man. Like, seriously, like when you have like 15 different stories and I choose to talk about, topics just like in maybe like minor detail, you guys go in the comments like, hey, Crispy, like I see you talk about it this way, but think about it this way. That helps me out so much, man. I really do appreciate it. And, a big point you guys brought up about him going to maybe a team like the Jazz or the Knicks would be, for salary cap relief. Maybe the Knicks know that this upcoming season is not going to be the year they win it all. So what they do is they trade Russell Westbrook for Julius Randle, who is not the greatest contract right now, or maybe not the greatest what the Knicks see their future needing and things like that. So you get him off the books, and then in a season, obviously Russell Westbrook will be expiring. You can buy him out now or play him for the season, see how that goes. And all of a sudden, instead of having that 4-year salary cap with Julius Randle, you have a lot of money going next offseason. So, yeah, seeing things like that, it's like, yeah, after I read it, I'm like, duh, that makes so much sense. Like, just because you trade for a player does not necessarily mean you have to play that player, right? But it's also more fun to think of it in terms, because, like, buyouts are boring, at least initially. It's like those players bought out. It's like, no, I want to see Russell play with RJ Barrett. Maybe not really, but I like to think that maybe it would be fun, and then you can buy him out. Let's just see it for a game or two, man. So, no, I totally get that mindset. Here we have, this one's interesting, kinda, maybe, could also be a no story. Via Shams, the Hornets are interested in signing Kemba Walker. You know what? I don't think I would do it if you're Charlotte. At this point, it's LaMelo's team. You don't want Kemba coming back on the team and being like, hey guys, I'm Kemba motherfucking Walker, baby. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do out here, man. Like, All-Star game, y'all remember that? And just all of a sudden, just really ruin the chemistry of the team and him trying to do too much, which, at the best, his best years led to, like, I think, like, 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Like, I understand maybe, I'm trying to think, like, who, like, this team's backup point guard is. Like, it's not coming to my mind. If Kemba combined to that type of system and play 20 minutes a game, sure, it could be fun to sell some tickets and stuff like that. Maybe even be beneficial if he can return to any part of the stuff that he used to be. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of in the realm of those days just kind of being over. And I think it's best if the Hornets move on from that. Beyond that, that is pretty much all we got going on here. Let me go ahead. Let me refresh real quick. Make sure we didn't miss anything at all. Because that's usually what happens. It's just like I talk and this is the Celtics are very serious about acquiring Kevin Durant. Okay, so same one. We also have Kyrie wants to play out the next season with the Nets, with or without Kevin Durant via Shams. That's interesting. I don't know. Like, also with Kyrie though, it's hard to like completely know because he literally told like children during like a school assembly he was never going to leave Cleveland. So it's hard to really know with Kyrie Irving, man. Like, if he stays with the Nets, cool. Like, I'm gonna respect that. I really am, especially if he can, you know, play a full 82 game season. I don't know what the rules are going to be as far as vaccination and everything next season. I don't know how that all is going to play out, but I don't know, man. I do know that Kyrie Irving is one of the most talented players in the NBA, so having him on your team, if he's playing, is not a bad thing. If he's not playing, obviously, then it's an issue. So that's all we got for this video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Like I said, 1,000 likes for a Kevin Durant Boston Celtics rebuild.